Hi, it's October 9th, I think, 2020. I'm going to give another example of how CBS News is purposely inserting opinionated words in the middle of their news stories. This is just like an onslaught against President Trump. And in the middle, they then play a clip of Trump where he sounds totally sane and logical. So they're literally taking whatever soundbite they want of Trump and then putting around it whatever they want to say about it, whether it's accurate or not. So I'll play the clips and point out the issues.
President Trump on Fox lashed out at Whitmer and focused his criticism on Antifa and did not condemn the actions of the suspects who were charged.
She's complaining, but it was our Justice Department that arrested the people that she was complaining about. It was my Justice Department that...
So he's right. So whatever you want to say, oh, Trump didn't condemn it. His people arrested and did the investigation and caught the people that were going to do the kidnapping. That's what the FBI is supposed to do. So even when Trump does something right and the people working for him do something right, they still make it sound negative. And it goes on.
That arrested them.
President Trump, after his interview on Fox, went on a tweet storm and he attacked Michigan's governor, calling her terrible and said that she should open up her state. I'm Tom Wade, CBS 2 News.
The president's doctor has cleared him to safely make public appearances again starting Saturday, but he won't be at next week's debate. And neither will Democratic nominee Joe Biden. Both have pulled out of the town hall after the debate commission announced it would be virtual because of the president's positive COVID test. Well, both campaigns say they will meet again in person on October 22nd, the night scheduled for the third and final debate. The Trump campaign is demanding a debate on October 29th, but Biden says no.
I'm sticking with the dates. I'm showing up. I'll be there. And in fact, if he shows up, fine. If he doesn't, fine.
No, I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about. You sit behind a computer and do a debate. It's ridiculous.
He's right. And now, what's so comical, Trump is right about what he's saying. The very next story is about a Zoom debate with audio technical problems. Again, proving Trump is right.
Ridiculous. And then they cut you off whenever they want.
Instead of the debate next Thursday, both campaigns say they will hold their own events. LA County DA Jackie Lacey faced off with challenger George Gascone in a heated virtual debate tonight in a race that is being watched all across the country. Jackie Lacey has held the office for 2 terms, while Gascone was once an LAPD officer and former DA for San Francisco. Police reform, criminal justice reform, and the Black Lives Matter movement. All of these issues are key to this year's race for district attorney.
Pounds. I cannot law. I enforce the law. I have enforced the law.
We apologize for the audio there. George Gascone was recently...
So they literally just proved Trump is right, that there's going to be no guarantee that anything's done correctly when you do a virtual at 2 different locations with 2 different miking systems. He's right. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play what Trump said again, just to remind you.
Shows up fine. If he doesn't, fine.
No, I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about. You sit behind a computer and do a debate. It's ridiculous. And then they cut you off whenever they want.
Or they screw up the audio. So literally they took 2 stories where Trump is totally right and they spun it 180 degrees. And the first one said Trump would not condemn the groups that tried the kidnapping in Michigan. And Trump just replies and says, they're my guys, they're the FBI, they did their job. And he doesn't get credit. Then he ridicules the virtual debate, and then CBS comes right back with the perfect example of how a virtual debate can go wrong. There's just no guarantee that they're going to get the audio levels right from 2 people at 2 different locations. The testing on that, the comical part is, the testing on that is so complicated, you actually need people who were around in the 90s who used to hardwire and had to kind of visualize the whole thing. Those kind of people can figure it out probably. But all the younger people that all they know are wireless and computers, they're not going to always get every little thing that can go wrong. And they literally experiment on live events and go, oh, that didn't work. Well, we'll figure it out for the next time. You know, we didn't have that standard in the 90s. If we were doing a live event, it had to be right or there was hell to pay. But now in 2020, it's considered part of the learning curve if you screw up a live event. So this is just two examples, back-to-back stories where they took what Trump said and they used all these other words that were all negative and hostile. And as I've been saying, I think this is actually a plan. It's actually a plot. Because of blockchain technology and other methods where all transcripts can get encoded, and then after they're encoded, you can do search for certain words, and then you can do tabulations and say, well, President Trump said baseless statements X amount of times, or he said false statements X. But those were opinions. They weren't fact. They were the opinions of the reporters. So they're inserting these key words. They're taking the news and infusing their opinion, their hostile opinion about Trump, so it'll be there for the record, and it's what will be retrieved at a later date. This is all planned. This literally is a conspiracy.